Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial video for Full Scope Freelancer. In this video, we're talking about the email settings within your account, specifically here under email services. And I want to explain a little how email works in your account, the default functionality, and how you can then, of course, tweak that and change it so that it perhaps works a little differently in a way that is better for you and your business. So by default, you can imagine Full Scope as being like a mailman. So let's say you have a letter, you want to send that letter to someone else. Obviously, you don't walk down, the street to their house and bring them the letter by hand. You put it in the mailbox, the postman picks it up, and they bring it to its final destination. You can think of Full Scope as being the mailman. We deliver the mail for you. And on top of that, if someone wants to send a reply to that mail back, they are going to send it via the postman. And in this case, this is what is really important about this concept. Full Scope brings the mail back to where it came from. And where it came from is your Full Scope account, not your actual email address. And this is why if someone replies to an email that you've sent out through your account, whether it's an email marketing email or an automatic reply email that you've built through some automation, that reply is actually going to go here to your conversations area. And as you can see here, I actually just did this to test and show you. So I sent an email to our support page from this account, and when I replied back to it from our inbox, that reply came here to the conversations view because it's sending it back where the email came from, and the email came from the Full Scope account, right? If you create an email in this account, then its origin is this account and not your normal email inbox and email sending tool, whether that's Gmail or Yahoo or something else, right? So that's the default way that things work. If someone replies to an email that came from your Full Scope account, again, whether it's email marketing, a direct email that you created through the Conversations tab, or an automated email, any reply to that is coming back to your Full Scope account. And now, if you enjoy using for example, our Conversations area, seeing all of your messaging, whether it's email or SMS, or any of your social media accounts that are connected, if you enjoy seeing it all in one place, then that's great. You can just keep using this as normal and use it as your normal email inbox to write and receive mail. But if you prefer to check mail in your normal email inbox, and if you would prefer any replies to email going out from your Full Scope account to go to your normal email inbox somewhere else, then you have to take one step in order to set that up. And here's how that works. So we're going to go back to settings, back to email services. I'm going to ignore that pop-up. And here in email services, we can go to reply and forward settings. This is where you can change that default functionality and do something else with it. So there are a few options here. The first option is to forward any replies or replies to emails coming from your Full Scope account to another email address. So in this case, as you can see here, what the text says, you will receive the email reply not only in your conversation view, but also in your personal inbox. So this, I think, is the ideal method of dealing with this because you get the best of both worlds. If you want to check email in your conversations view, you can. If you want to check it in your normal email inbox, you can, and you have that email then everywhere you look, so you never lose track of it. So you could just come in here and type your email address. And here you can even type multiple email addresses. As you can see, press enter after each address. If you want copies of these emails going to different places, you can do that. So that would be option one. Option two is to add a reply address that is different than, or rather that is your actual email address that you would want to use. And this is a little different because what this means is that when people reply to those emails going out from your account, they're actually replying directly to your email address. So before, if they hit reply, they would reply to the email address that is basically, again, using the postman metaphor, the email address of the postman, who then brings the mail back to Fullscope. But now we're going to reply directly to you. And when you do this, it's a similar effect as the forwarding address. You also get now that mail in your personal email inbox, but a copy of it no longer goes to the conversations view because it's not going to Fullscope anymore. And what happens is that those replies will no longer be tracked in Fullscope. You won't receive them in the conversations view, and they also won't be tracked in the case that you have any other tracking related automations or anything else going on. So if someone replies to that email and you have, for example, an automation that says, hey, if someone replies to this marketing email, then, create a task in my account or do this, that, or the other thing. Then, of course, if the email doesn't come back to Fullscope, then we can't do anything with it because we don't see that someone replied. So this would be really if you just want that any email replies to go straight to your own inbox and nowhere else. So that is the other option. I recommend doing the forwarding address because, again, it's the best of both worlds. The email goes to Fullscope and to your personal email inbox, and you can deal with it however you choose. There is one third option, as you see here. This is BCC emails. But what this does is this is actually adding a BCC mail to all outgoing mail from Fullscope. So if you add an email address here, it'll be tagged as a BCC address onto every email going out from your account. So if you set up an email marketing campaign, for example, that's going out to 500 people, and you put an email address here, it's going to send 500 copies of that email to this email address. So if you're using email marketing and stuff, that you probably don't want to use this. If you're only using Fullscope for one-on-one emails and you want both ingoing and outgoing mails to create copies that are going to, again, to another account somewhere for whatever reason that you would like to have them doubled, then you can do that here as well. But mainly, I think most people will be interested either in using the forwarding address or the reply address down here. So again, that's how they work. If you want to change the default functionality of email in Fullscope, you can come here to settings, email services, reply and forward settings, and then you can add an email address, again, either under forwarding address or reply address to receive any replies to outgoing mail from your Fullscope account in your personal email inbox. If you have any questions about this or want to learn more about our email services, you can reach out to our support team from within your account. We'll be happy to help you anytime, and we will see you in the next tutorial video.